So here the panel itself indicates the group of 5 people who are coming onto the stage in next few minutes, and we are going to discuss on a topic called the soft skills cracking the code to the professional success. Okay, the topic of the panel discussion is soft skills cracking the code to professional success, and the panel discussion is going to be in the next 30 minutes, where for the first 20 minutes I am going to ask few questions to our panelists, and at the last 10 minutes you will be getting a chance to ask the questions or doubts whatever you have on this particular topic. Okay, so without any delay, let me call the panelists. I would like to call upon our first panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri Asudani, who is currently serving the District 126 Club Road Director, and she also served as District Administration Manager and also the District Public Relations Manager. Professionally, she works as a French language teacher and trainer and has over 27 years of teaching experience, and she has been taking online classes since a decade now. Now I would like to applaud and I would like to request everyone to clap for distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri Asudani, the first panelist for today's panel discussion. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please take your seat. Now let me welcome our second panelist. He is Toastmaster Akhilesh Morishetty, who is having 10 years of experience in IT industry and specifically in information security domain, and currently working as a lead information security engineer at Wells Fargo India Solutions. And he has joined the organization as a fresher and has an experience on identity and access management under cyber security. Also, from his Toastmasters profile, he is a charter member from 2015, and he has also joined Toastmasters to communicate better with confidence and work on his leadership skills. And also, he served in different various leadership roles from District 98 and District 126, including the past Division Director, Area Director, and Club Extension Focal. Now I would like to clap, I request all the audience to clap for our next panelist, Toastmaster Akhilesh Morishetty. Thank you so much, sir. So let me welcome the next panelist for today's panel discussion is Toastmaster Ravi Shankar, who is a Toastmaster from the District 126, and also professionally he is having 19 plus years of work experience in the IT sector, and is also currently working as a transformation coach who helps teams transform to agile and product ways of working at a large North American banking and financial firm by means of training, mentoring, and coaching techniques. And he is also works on the retail, telecommunications and networking, high technology and healthcare industries as a consultant. So I request everyone to clap for the third panelist, Toastmaster Ravi Shankar. Thank you so much, sir. Now let me welcome our next panelist, Toastmaster Tejasvi. She has over 14 years of experience in professionally, and she is currently working as a team lead at Wells Fargo, and she has been leading the efforts for transformation knowledge and automation tasks in her team. Throughout her career, she has predominantly worked in large American banking and financial firms. She holds a bachelor degree and is currently pursuing post-graduation program in data science. And coming to her Toastmasters profile, being a Toastmaster, she has helped her experience personal growth, increase self-confidence, and experience a sense of achievement. She has got several opportunities to network and connect with individuals from various backgrounds. She is currently serving as the Vice President Public Relations at club level. And now I request all the members to clap for the fourth panelist, Toastmaster Tejasvi. Thank you so much. Now let me call upon the fifth panelist for today's panel discussion, Toastmaster Sai Chandar, who is currently working as a freelancer at Impulse, and he is from District 120. He is a Toastmaster since 5 years and he's also having 6.2 years of experience in the IT industries. I request everyone to clap for our next panelist, Toastmaster Sai Chandra. Now, I'll be asking questions to 5 of the panelists one by one, and later on, in your provided time, you people can ask your individual questions based on your interest to each panelist. Okay? So, my first question is for TTM Mayuri Asudani. So, according to your profile, you are having a lot of experience in French training, like 27 years of experience. But you are a Toastmaster and also the Club Growth Director, where English is the major language where we all speak. So, what made you to continue in Toastmasters and how language is different from communication?
Thank you, Amrita, for that question. So, in my profile, it's already mentioned that I've been speaking a foreign language for a very long time. No matter what the language, each one of us knows what to say, but the problem is that most of us do not know how to say it. So it is that how which even I was lacking. I was teaching and I've been doing that for a very long time, but I saw a change in my own teaching abilities of how to say it after I joined Toastmasters. And so I became more productive, more refined in my own work thanks to Toastmasters, because in Toastmasters there are so many projects which make us structurize our content and also do it in limited time. Otherwise, teachers are famous for talking non-stop for hours. I'm sure you would agree. But I learned, I heard a yes also. So I realized that once I joined Toastmasters, I was able to say what I wanted to say very precisely and concise. So I think I improved much more in my profession and my teaching after I joined Toastmasters. So I think I will pay a lot of attention and I will say thank you to Toastmasters for making me more refined, more articulate. It was always, the language is always there, but the manner in which I delivered improved tremendously after I joined Toastmasters.
So I can consider this, the teaching language is okay, but when they learn from the language plays a major role in the communication skills.
Yes.
And it depends on how we are presenting our learnings through any language. So that is what the communication means.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So my next question is to Toastmaster Akhilesh. So according to your profile that I have observed that you are having a lot of experience in the IT sector. So I would like to ask you a question, that is, currently the recession time is going on. So what is your suggestions for the students, especially who are going to attend the interviews for the placements and all, how they can survive in this recession period, and what are the skills that they should acquire technically and even according to the soft skills?
Okay, I know there is a lot of talk about recession, in the US, in India. There, the placements are less. The companies are not recruiting as much as they used to do in the past. But the thing is, it did not stop completely. They are still recruiting. There is still placements going on, and recruitments are going on across different organizations. The only thing is the number has decreased. So let's say when in the past we had 100 openings, now it might have got reduced to 50 or maybe 40. But still the recruitment is going on. So if you are applying for a job and because there were more opportunities, even though you are not up to your 100%, you might have gotten a job in the past. But now they are looking for people who are giving their 120%. So basically whenever you go attend an interview, the two things that currently the organizations are looking is not just the technical skill, because once you get into the job, they will anyways train you and you will be able to work on that job. So they are not purely looking on the technical skills, but they are also looking as an overall person, how you will be, and will you be loyal to the company or not. So that is the first thing that they will be checking. And how do they understand is how you convey your answers when you are asked a question. So they don't look at the answer that you are giving, but they look more about how you are giving that answer. So in that way, we need to prepare ourselves on how to project our answers in a better way. So in that sense, yeah, communication plays a very major role in that.
Thank you so much, sir. So I can consider that even though this is a recession time or even it's a placement time, the skills that we showcase to them is plays a major role. Like even though you're very good at technical skills, if you cannot showcase you are good at that particular skill, there is a lot of chance not to get placed or even to get a job or to go into any kind of sector that they are interested in. So in that way the communication plays a vital role in the recession time as well. Thank you so much. So my next question is for Toastmaster Ravi. So according to your profile that you are a coach in the banking sector and you have a lot of networks in the banking and financial firm industries. So now my question for you is how really communication impacts in that banking sector other than the IT sector?
Thank you for the question. So what I would say is, irrespective of the sector that you're part of, be it banking, financial industry, or any of the other sectors that any of us are from, or any of you aspire to be in, the main thing is, as you heard both of them say, I want to mention the same thing, is how do you get your idea across to the other person, right? She said how, he also said how, I want to elaborate on the same how again. Each of us might be sound in our technical aspects, but how do you generalize what you're saying? How do you make it so that it is easy for a layperson or somebody who's not technical to understand what you're doing? So that is what is key, be it in the banking industry or be it in any industry. But coming to the question which is specific to banking, I would say what I have seen in the few years that I've been part of this BFSI space is that people are technically very sound, but they don't have that much of a grasp, not everybody, but some of them, don't have that much of a grasp of the business aspects of the work. And that is where the challenge lies. How do we bridge that gap so that not only do they help achieve from a technology perspective, but also how do they achieve what the customer is looking for? That is where communication plays a very important role. That's where the focus should also be. Not just be on focusing on the technical aspects too. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you answered. So irrespective of the sectors, the thing that is the communication plays a vital role because we have to showcase. That is the same thing that we discussed earlier. But when it comes to the banking sector, the communication really going to impact because the way how we communicate gives the answer to the others' questions. So I think this plays a major role.
Yes.
Thank you. So my next question is for Toastmaster Tejashvi. So according to your profile that you are pursuing the post-graduation in the data science. So how can you differ holding a bachelor's degree is better, is post-graduation degree is better than the bachelor's degree in this time of placements time, and how the certification is going to help the students in this type of IT sector?
Well, thank you for such a wonderful question. Doing a post-graduation has always been a dream since I completed my BTech. It's been 14 years since then, and I've always dreamed of doing an MS or MBA or something. Not because of everybody going to the US and doing it, but I always wanted to have that knowledge. And why right now I'm doing a PG in data science is it's because of various career opportunities you have in data science domain. And also the demand in data-driven decisions, right? It's growing a lot. So that is the reason I've chosen this background. And I'm also technically strong in SQL. So I thought, how can I hone my skills in SQL? And as well as nobody knows here, I am very good at mathematics. So I also want to sharpen that skills. And I thought, where can I use the skills? Not in my IT, not in the work that I'm doing right now, but where can I put my skills and where can I improve it? That's why I took this decision. And at this point of time, why I took it is because the market is really unpredictable right now. And you never know tomorrow you have a job or not. So, and like if someone comes and asks me, why should I, hire you? Or why should you stay in the team? So what are the additional qualities that you have? Additional qualifications that you have? So that's where I thought, okay, I need an additional qualification than what I'm doing right now. So that is the reason I did this.
Yes, thank you so much. So whatever the skills we have, if you are having more in number, that can make you the best out of the people. Yeah, thank you so much. So my next question is for Toastmaster Sai Chandar. So as you mentioned that you are a Toastmaster since last 5 years and you are having a 6.2 years of experience in the IT industry. So what is the difference that you have observed in yourself before and after Toastmasters, and what is the suggestion that you would like to give on this?
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrita, for that wonderful question. Before joining Toastmasters, I was a complete zero. I just have my studies, that's it. But I was completely zero, I did not have any life skills, I don't know any life skills. I did not have any negotiation skills, nothing. But after joining to Toastmasters, particularly when it comes to profession, I have improved a lot. Say, this is my 7th XCOM role as a president. I have served in all the XCOM roles and then I have come to the president role. So each and every XCOM role has taught me something. Say, for example, the sergeant at arms role and the secretary role. It has taught me how to be punctual and how to be organized. And the role as a BPPR has taught me how to be creative. For example, I used to work as a data analyst. I'm still working as a freelance data analyst. When I give recommendations to my client, saying that I primarily work with Power BI. So say, hey, this is not the vision, this is not the right layout. This layout can be better. Or this visualization can, instead of a pie chart can give you a better result. Or instead of a line chart, something else, some other visualization can give you a better result. Or instead of this layout, that layout can give you a faster result. So through BPPR role, I learned how to be creative, and through BPM, I learned how to do negotiation both in my personal life as well as in professional life. When it comes to appraisals, how to do my salary negotiation during interviews, all the stuff. And VP and President has taught me how to handle challenges that come with life on the spot. Like, I was recently laid off from my job, and it was just 2 months. It was just 1.5 or 2 months that I've been laid off. But I could get placed as a freelancer because of my communication skills, because of the resilience that I developed from all those roles. Like being president and being VP is very, very tough. And if you are in the shoes of a president or a VP, then you will get to know that. I have been very, very that those two roles have developed immense resilience in me, and how to overcome those tough times. And these two roles have taught me a lot other than other roles. And if I could get placed as a freelancer within 2 months, that is because of these two roles. I could pitch my profile better, and I could show that this is what I can bring it to the table. And I got placed as a freelancer, and of course, I may not be earning what I was earning when I was in the IT company, but I'm happy with what I'm earning now. So before as the question itself states, my life can be classified as before and after Toastmasters. Thank you so much for asking that wonderful question.
Thank you so much, sir. Now all the VP educations and the presidents are going to be the freelancers with such a high motivation. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. So when you mentioned about the leadership, I got one question strike in my mind, and I would like to ask that to DTM Mayuri. So how the mentorship program is really going to help, especially the students, to be a good leader, and how can it affect their leadership journey?
Thank you, Amrita, for that question, leading on mentoring. I'll share my own example. I was hardly 5 months, not even 5 months, less than 5 months into Toastmasters. I had no idea what a mentor does, but I was assigned a mentor by the district and then division actually at that time. I was literally groomed into who I am today by this mentor. And this mentor went on to, whenever there was a challenge I faced at a club level, and then I was contesting, so my speeches, the review of those speeches, and then one fine day I got a call to step into leadership at the area level. So whatever my roles were, I reached out to my mentor to ask, what do I do? And I always got very good advice. 7 years have gone by. He has moved to a different city, a different district, different place in India. But even now, the relation and the bond that I have is, whatever might happen in my life, I know that I have to just pick up one one phone call, and I know I will get some very good mentoring advice. What I have learned at Toastmasters is we build these very strong mentor-mentee relations. So it's not just your family, friends. There is someone who's genuinely going to support you, encourage you all along your journey. And so this mentoring I found only at Toastmasters, which is very, very strong here. And the leader that I am today is because of the presence of not just that one mentor, but over the years, subsequent many mentors. For every role, like today if I'm a club board director, that's because there are a lot of other people who have helped me come here. Nothing is possible all by myself. So yes, Toastmasters and mentoring go hand in hand, and I'm very grateful for all those mentors who have helped me reach where I am today.
Okay, thank you so much for such an amazing answer. So I got an idea into my mind is when we have a mentor, we can be a better person. But when we have a lot of mentees, we can be the best mentor. You know, the learnings
Absolutely.
what.
So Amrita, just to let you know, there are so many people I met in the morning, and they came up to me and said, "My name, ma'am, I'm so and so." I said, "Hi." And the next line, "I'm your mentee too." And I realized that there are so many mentees in this room, but I know you through WhatsApp. Now I have a face to connect to that WhatsApp. So yes, I'm a richer person because I have so many mentees around me.
Okay. That's really an inspirational answer, you know. Some more members will want to be your mentees once again.
Bring them on.
Yes. So my next question is to Toastmaster Akhilesh. So as you mentioned, even though it is the recession time, when we have the skills, we can get placed or we can get many opportunities in our career. So how we are going to identify that this particular student is having that particular skill out of all the resumes that you get for an interview?
Okay, when it comes to placements, as you all know, okay, so when it comes to placements, as you all know, the first step is we share our resume. And whoever is the interviewer, they go through all the resumes and then they pick a few resumes from that. So the main thing that anyone looks in that is whether it is genuine or not. Because when you are doing interviews on a regular basis, you get to understand what is a real resume and what is a copied resume. Maybe the content might change, but when you do a copy of some other's resume, it will be clearly understandable and the interviewers will know that. So first thing that they will check is whether that is genuine. And then the other thing is, beyond the technical skills that are listed in the resume, what are the other skills that the person has? And it might be something related to communication, leadership, or even you might have taken some other, you have done some other project beyond your technical work or whatever it is. So whether that particular person has those additional skills or whether this person is only focusing on the technical part. So those two, if we are able to highlight whatever we have done beyond our technical, that will help us in the picking of our resume. So I'll give you one example where in my team there were a few openings and we did interviews last month. So we had 5 to 6 resumes that we got, and I mean the picking was not done by us. The HR does the picking and they share it with us. But when we go through the resume, we ask the question. By the first answer that the person gives, we understood that okay, there is no relation between the person and the resume, because the way they answer, it is not reflected or whatever they listed in the resume, it is not reflecting in the answers that they are giving. So even if your resume gets picked, you will get caught in the next stage of the interview.
So now even the genuine resume people have to practice on before the interview because the way how they present decides the future in that particular thing.
Exactly. And put only whatever you know and whatever you have done. Don't try to put your friend has written I am part of that club, I'm part of this club, I'm part of this club. So the major or the silly mistake that we do during college placements is we try to copy someone else who has 2 to 3 pages of resume and we go with it. Even single page resume will work, but the only thing is it should have the correct content, whatever you have done, and not that you have copied from someone else.
Now I have Now I have to go and check my resume as well, how many pages do I need to write from Toastmasters and also from the technical aspects. Thank you so much for sharing that insights. Now my next question is for Toastmaster Ravi. Recently I have seen so many students are showing more interest towards the certifications, internships, projects, etc., etc. And they are mainly focusing on the IT industry. So, how the other type of sectors can give more opportunities when these people are going towards these internships and certificates? Are they really going to help in other sectors or only for IT?
Okay, so if I got the question right, if people want to, or if employers of other industries want to attract students to take up jobs there, will internships at IT companies help them also is one of the questions. I hope I got that right.
So, how the internships or the projects that they are doing will help them in other sectors as well. So, most of them are focusing on the IT sector.
Okay.
But as Akhilesh sir said, most of them will have the false resume. Even though they have genuine resume, they may not present at that time. So, how these skills are going to help in other sectors to have a better future?
Okay. I would say that what typically happens is when you get an opportunity to work as an intern or on a project or however you might take it, the experience that you get within one industry and the skills that you learn there, especially when it comes to working within a team, I think those are what we would call as transferable skills. And transferable skills are something that you can take across industries. It's not specific to a particular domain or a particular industry. And that is something that you will again would, if I would take back to the question you asked earlier, that is how you want to communicate it in the right way. That okay, even though my major or my chosen subject could be say mechanical, but I end up doing an internship at say an IT organization. Now, what is it that I have gained? Let's say I go for placements to a mechanical-based industry, and I'm asked, what is it that you gained when you went for internship there? Think about answering it in a way where what skills that you gained in that internship, be it IT or otherwise, that you can apply in the non-IT sector as well. So that is something that you would want to think about. So be it certifications, be it internships, what are those transferable skills that you get? Primarily, I would say teamwork is one thing from an internship perspective. When it comes to certifications, it might be the certifications can vary, right? You might have certifications that are very technical in nature, specific to an industry, or there might be certifications that are generic. So depending on that, the way you position yourself, if you say that, okay, these are the set of skills that I learned when I did the certification, and therefore I will be also able to pick up quickly if I learn something, if I learn a new set of technical skills at another organization or another non-IT firm. So the way you position that answer and the way you are able to communicate that, it will definitely help. As she is a lifelong learner, so are most of us here, I'm sure. So what I would say is learn, of course, apply those, but again, doing a certification, just doing an internship, if you stop it at that, but you don't apply what you've learned, it doesn't really make much of a difference. That's my answer.
So here I got 2 points from your answer. That is, we have to do the courses or certifications not based on the positions or the packages that the companies are offering. We should do it to learn our own skills and also to improve our own talent in this industry. And also, if we know how to apply those skills, then we can survive at any sector, irrespective of the certifications or the courses.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So my next question is to Toastmaster Tejasvi. So you are you can consider compared to all these people and even from me. So you are just a beginner in the Toastmasters journey. You know that you are having 7 months of experience and you are the Vice President Public Relations in your club. But you are having 14 plus years of experience in the IT sector. So what is the major difference that you observe? The Toastmasters really plays a major role in communication. But how it changed your perspective and what made you to continue in Toastmasters even though you are a very good experienced person in IT?
Okay, I still remember my first stage experience, that is 7 or 8 months back. My hands were sweating. I still remember while I was walking, I was nervous. And now, after 7 months, I've taken several roles in Toastmasters that helped, develop my speaking skills in public, in front of audience, right? Having, 14 years of experience, I have a lot of ideas in me, but then I never knew how to articulate them, right? How to put my idea in front of a group of managers, I never knew. Maybe if I knew, I never, won at that pace. And after joining Toastmasters, I'll tell a small example that happened. So I won a competition at my, at my office, and then I showed that trophy. I went to my senior manager and I showed it. That was the first time I spoke to them after all these years, right? And after that, also 2-3 times I did showcase in front of them. See, I did that, I did this. And last week, one of my directors came from US, and my senior manager, he came to me and they just been a Toastmaster, right? Come, let me introduce you to the director. Then I immediately, that enthusiasm I had, that okay, someone is introducing me. I felt really great at that time. Then when he introduced me and that senior manager, he's like, we usually learn from the managers, right? And you know what he said? She's a Toastmaster and I'm learning from her. Is that what you want in life, right? Someone learning from you, that you are showing the path to someone. So this is what Toastmasters taught me in the past 7 months, and I'm sure it has much more to offer me.
So by this I can understand that Toastmasters taught you how to really express what you learned in these many years of experience. Yes. So my question to Toastmaster Sai Chandra is, what is the one advice that you would like to give all the people who are present over here in one word?
In one word, what is the advice that I wanted to give? Just be consistent with what you are doing. Just believe in the process. Nothing happens overnight. If I'm sitting here as a panelist after 5 years in Toastmasters and after 6 years in IT industry, this didn't happen overnight. And the success that I got in Toastmasters, or the network that I got in Toastmasters, and that is because and my freelancer job is because of that. So it's one of my contacts who proposed me to that freelancing thing. And yes, nothing happens overnight. Just be consistent. Just be, what to say? Don't be afraid to do mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. If you are afraid to fail, and if you that's where you restrict your growth. Don't be afraid to fail. If you fail, then only you will learn. I think Toastmasters is the safest place to fail and learn. If you do the same mistake in office, you will be fired immediately. But in Toastmasters, there will be so many people to guide you, and there will be so many mentors to guide you, and there will be so many guiding forces. It's a mutually positive and supportive environment. So that is my advice in simpler words. Just be consistent with what you're doing and believe in the process. Nothing happens overnight, and whatever happens at the right time will happen for sure.
So with this I can say Toastmasters is the one that teaches how to learn first, then you can learn more from Toastmasters. Yes, thank you so much. And now I request the audience to ask few questions to any of the panelists or any doubts that you are having.
So before we open the question, I just want to add to what he said. So all the non-Toastmasters here, don't think that we are doing some advertisement to get you into Toastmasters. We are not asking you to come to Toastmasters, but we are asking you to experience what Toastmasters offers. And if you believe that it is going to help you, then you can become as a member and then you can continue. I can say that on the stage, I am the more experienced in terms of Toastmasters because I completed 9 years in Toastmasters. I am still continuing. It is not that I did something or I got something and I want to leave. but it is a regular learning process. As he mentioned, it is not a one-night change that you will observe. It will take some time to to see the change for yourselves. So don't think that okay, we are asking you to join Toastmasters. We are asking you to explore what it is and see if it is going to help you, and then you can decide to continue or not.
So anyone would like to ask any question to any of the panelists? Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Like I was part of this Toastmasters since 3 years. First 1.5 year, I did not do anything in the club. It took me 1.5 year to start my journey in Toastmasters. But the thing is, after 1.5 year, I started my journey. I was being part of several events in District 126, and I was a BTech final year student. Currently, I was in BTech final year. And how can I showcase my skills, which I learned in Toastmasters, to the HRs? It can be in a placement style, or to the HR or the interview time. Can you tell me how can I project my skills to the HRs?
Do you have this question pointed at someone specific or is it open to everybody?
No, anyone.
I think these guys are looking at me. The bottom guy in the center gets the question. Okay. So if you remember, the answer I was giving earlier to her question was the same thing in terms of certifications and internships and all of that. What kind of transferable skills have you gained is what I mentioned earlier. So I would say the same thing. How do you position what you have done so far and what you have gained so far from Toastmasters? How would you position that in a way where it explains to somebody who is not even aware of Toastmasters what you've gained through there? Right? For example, you've been doing a lot of work to organize this event, let's say, right? All of the folks who have organized this. So you would have done a lot of logistics work, you would have done a lot of PR work, you would have done so many different things. You work together as a team. So create categories and say these are the different things that I've done so far in Toastmasters. This is what I've learned in each of these. Mention each of the events that you've been part of. You can say I've worked at the area level, at the club level, at the division level, at the district level, or within the club also, you might have done multiple things, right? So what has each role taught you? What are those skills that you've gained? If you're able to articulate that, and then if you can tell them that since I have been able to already do this in the last how many years? You said 3 years, but in the last 1.5 years you've been much more accomplished Toastmaster than before. So if you articulate what you've gained in those 1.5 years, and you can say that now I'm much more accomplished and I'll be able to apply these same skills for anything else. Now, working in a team, I'm able to do that. Organizing something, I'm able to do that. So how do you depict that in your resume or in an interview? That's what would matter.
So I'll just add a little bit, and this is an example from my own club. I come from a community club, which means we have members from college and all diverse backgrounds. So there's this one girl who was in her final year, she was getting placed. Now after her placements and her were over, then she told me this whole thing. She tells me, ma'am, I went ahead, and of course the panelists were there asking us questions. So typically the questions begin with your technical background. What have you done, which year, etc., your projects then. And somewhere those recruiters saw in her CV that she's a Toastmaster. And she's done level 1 to some levels. Immediately the shift happened. And it began, oh, so you're a Toastmaster? Alright. Which path have you taken? Oh, wonderful. What levels? Do you have some experience in any organizing any event? Now, incidentally, this girl was the PR manager. She conducted a PR event in the city where we were in a book fair. So she told, I worked with a team of people. We were 15 people. I delegated tasks. Now look what is being projected of that candidate. Technical knowledge, of course, but apart from that, there is some experience that she has and she's able to share. And of course, she got a very good package. She's now in the US as well. But that's typical of any placement that will happen. So I just wanted to share this experience because Ravi was talking about the same skills.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, hello panelists, I am Toastmaster Subhash. I have 2 questions. First question is not to Mayuri. So as you spoke about mentorship, so I was asked by someone that being a mentee of that particular person, how can you not give speeches? So my question is, does a mentee should be the copy of the mentor?
Absolutely not. Can I answer this first question first and we'll
Yes.
come to the second one later?
Yes.
Subhash, and that goes for each one of us. We all are individuals, we all are unique. And we all have our own uniqueness that we should be proud of. And that is what I would encourage for all of my mentees. Bring out your own style, grow the best, to be the best version of your own self. And you will never be alone. There will be people who will mentor you, guide you. But then you don't have to be a copied version of your mentor. Adapt, take up your own unique style, and then just go and deliver your speeches or be your own person, the best version of yourself. So to answer your question, no, you don't have to copy your mentor's speech style or delivery style. No.
So my next question, any one of you can answer. So I wanted to take a break from Toastmasters. So ideally, after once I taking the break and getting back to the Toastmasters, I hope you have done it. So how the things will be once I am getting back to the Toastmasters?
You've taken a break for a short time.
Okay, so I'll try to answer that. I took a break from Toastmasters a couple of years back. So I was not active. I continued my membership, but I was not active in any of the club activities or district activities or anything. So when I came back, there was support all across, within the club and outside the club. Because I was Toastmaster in the past, I know a few of the club members, and there is a change in the club leadership and all. Ravi was the president at that time, and there were a few other new members. But still, there was that support that I got from Toastmasters within the club. Even when I went outside of the club, I met new people at that point of time because almost 6 to 8 months I was inactive. So whoever were there when I was active, they were not there when I restarted. But I made new friends. I met new people, and then I learned something new from those people as well. So even though you take a break because of your personal or professional reasons, once you come back, you would come back if you believe in the process. Because you believe in the process, that is why you're asking this question that if you want to take a break and come back, how the support would be. So there's no need to worry about the support. You will always have that support. Whether it is the persons you already know or if it is a new Toastmaster, you will definitely have that support every time.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Nagbabu. I am Toastmaster Nagbabu, a third year student in the stream of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. So I have question to every one of you. So my first question goes to Mayuri ma'am. Ma'am, as you are a French language trainer, that means as you are a teacher. So I have in my childhood I have also dreamed to be a teacher. But because my childhood is all about Telugu medium. Now after coming to this Toastmasters, I have learning. Now my English was good, but I have a subject. But delivering the subject in two different languages, like it is in Telugu and it is in English, I am facing some trouble. And also to grab the attention of the students while we are teaching. So what are the techniques we will use to grab the attention of the students in the class? And how can you overcome the trouble when you are delivering the content in different languages and all?
So, Toastmaster Nagababu, I'll tell you the only key to success is just continue. He said that word consistent. You're already speaking completely in English and you yourself are the best example. You've improved, that means coming from a Telugu background to English now. It just has to be a continuous practice. So whenever you start speaking, try to speak in that one language. Do not mix. If you're speaking in Telugu, speak in Telugu. Speaking in English, speak in English. And when you do this consistently, you will yourself see remarkable improvement happen. And that goes for any language. When I teach French, I encourage my students to speak only in French. They are not perfect, neither am I. We make mistakes, but that's okay, that's fine. As long as communication happens, my message, my content is shared, and the audience is able to absorb what I'm trying to say, the message is accomplished. So it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not Shashi Tharoors over here, and we don't want it to be either. So it's just a question of practice, and you'll definitely be where you want to be one day.
And so, did you know French from your childhood or you learned in the middle?
No, actually I was doing my masters back then and I had a lot of time on my hands, and like everyone here, so Tejasvi is doing her post-graduation now after a break of a few years. I had time, so I said, let's learn something new. It was just curiosity that led me to learn the language, and I fell in love with the language, and I've never looked back since. So it's just continued.
So my next question is for Agnes sir. So as I am a AI student, I didn't have much knowledge on cybersecurity, but I am a AI passionate student. I am also a generative AI, internet, disabled AI solutions. So as a AI passionate student, because nowadays in the internet, all over the people information is available on the internet, and they are releasing information like the security credentials and some date of birth and some ATM pins in the internet. Like when the people ask a question to ChatGPT, in that prompt they will include their privacy information also. So how this cyber security will actually, is this safe to use this information in the AI? So is that AI create no problems, or it is safe and useful?
One thing is our information is secure until we make it public. So as long as it is whatever we think should be private, if we keep it private, it will be private. The moment you make it public, even on your social media or in your searches or in the chat GPT, wherever it is, once you post it there, it is public. That's it. That is how the world is now. So as long as you keep it private, it will be private. So the only thing is, yes, there is always that risk of the information being stolen or being used by some malicious person always. And yes, there are so many technologies that are coming up with with new technologies in terms of AI or generative AI coming up. There are new hacks that are coming up, and there are at the same time new cyber security programs that are coming up to protect that information. So it is like a cycle, so it never stops. But only thing is, as long as we are keeping things private, we should not be worried about anything that is going misused.
And my third question is for sir, and because in this is so that is you are from financial leader, right? So my question also is for in the technology, financial technology, because I am recently shortlisted for the financial technology hackathon from SCBA. So how this generative AI it will change in this financial technology? So it can create a new things, or it will create some problems.
I hope I'm audible. Okay, thank you for the question. Firstly, a very big disclaimer, I am not a technical guy, alright? So although I am working in the banking financial domain, I work more on the, as I was telling some of our friends here, on the people, process, product aspects of the work. I don't get into the technical aspects that you are into. So first of all, congratulations on being shortlisted on that particular challenge that you are being shortlisted on. When it comes to generative AI, I don't think I am the kind of person who will be qualified to give you an answer that you will be happy with. Keep dropping me there. But anybody else would want to take a stab at that? No. Okay. So very recently, the organization that I work for, our top boss had come visited us very recently. They have said also that in the banking financial domain, they have been exploring a lot of these use cases with generative AI. Now, specific to your question, I don't really have an answer that I can satisfy you with, but what I can tell you is that in the banking domain, there are quite a few use cases that the banks have been trying out internally, because especially banks being a very heavily regulated industry, right? There's a lot of scrutiny from, in India, for example, from the RBI, where they need to follow a lot of rules and regulations. If you are aware, for example, very recently, one of our very often used UPI apps, they have blocked it from any further usage for whatever reasons. The RBI has done that, right? So there's a lot of scrutiny that is involved. So keeping all that in mind, it's a very delicate situation. So to borrow from one of our speakers who was talking about trade-offs, right? He said that life will give you two options, you pick this or you pick that. So you will have a lot of trade-offs when it comes to generative AI as well. you need to figure out whether it is in line with all of the banking industry and regulators related concerns, and then go forward and implement it. That is all I would say. But more than that, I am not really a technically sound person to be able to answer your question. So sorry about that.
My last question is for Cesar sir. That is Cesar sir. Sai Center sir. So I'm basically very interested in freelancing. I have started my YouTube channel in intermediate, and I am also a technical writer at Geeks for Geeks. So I am earning my whole money in total in thousands rupees. But yeah, I have a dream to be earning a money on myself instead of working under ones. So as a freelancer, we need to promote ourselves in social media. So what are the techniques you will recommend? As a freelancer, what are the skills we need? As a freelancer, I recommend LinkedIn is the best platform to promote yourself. And I promoted my skills as a data analyst through LinkedIn. I used to post consistently in LinkedIn that these are the skills that I possess. Like I have done various projects on Power BI on myself. I have taken some ideas from internet and I have implemented them myself without seeing the solution, without seeing the actual solution. I have taken some projects from Code Basics. Code Basics is a very famous YouTube channel. You can just Google it and find it out. From that YouTube channel also, I have taken one project and have executed it end to end. And I have published it in LinkedIn. And again, as I mentioned during my previous question, that nothing happens overnight. Everything happens gradually. Be consistent with what you do. Post consistently on LinkedIn and connect with, suppose if you want to be a freelancer in data analytics, let us suppose. What I did is I connected with various people in the same field of data analysts. I started building a personal rapport with them. Instead of directly saying, hey, can you just refer me to a job? I just saw a job post on their profile. Just refer me to the job. If you say like that, no one will refer. Just build a personal rapport with them first, and then start saying that yes, your organization is hiring. Please refer to me. Please refer me to the opportunities or any freelancing opportunities if you have. So I believe LinkedIn is the best platform where you can promote your freelancing activities, and yes, that's how LinkedIn has helped me personally to get into this freelancing field. Hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much, Nagbabu, for conducting such another panel discussion. So one last question, because on the basis of time, this is going to be the last question. And if anyone is having the questions, you can just tag the Toastmasters guide and you can send a message directly, or else we'll share the LinkedIn profiles as well. You can directly connect with these people.
Good afternoon, panelists. This was the question that most of our Toastmasters might face in their final years or other years. So while I was sitting and preparing my resume, I came across and I brainstormed what to write on my resume. So I have lots of things done in Toastmasters, and if I started to mention all those things and write all those things that I did in Toastmasters, okay, if the recruiter knows about Toastmasters, he might feel good. But if someone who doesn't even heard about Toastmasters ended up being an interviewer for me and checked my resume, he might feel otherwise, that what have he did all these things in one club or one organization, and he might end up saying that you are doing something else, that's why you are given more limelight in that organization. So showcasing how much Toastmasters is too much Toastmasters is my question. This is not a generic, it's not a specific question to one person anyone could answer.
Can I? Yeah, please go ahead. Too much of anything is not really good. I mean, you can do stuff, but putting everything on a resume, even your technical stuff, people will not read it. Trust me. So if you have like 10 projects put your 10-page resume, no one will read it. Just give a gist of what you did at Toastmasters, maybe 3-4 lines, that is enough. Because nowadays, no one is really looking at 4-page or 5-page resume. I even had a long resume. So now I don't prepare it. Now what people look at is, just give a gist in 1 or maximum 2 pages, that is enough. That's what I would say.
So I'll just add over there, Harshman. Just like Tejasvi said, we have experience, like I have 27 years of experience, of course, at my profession, even Toastmasters. So my resume, my CV will run into 8-10 pages. Nobody has the time to sit and read, and nobody is interested either. Let's be very honest. So I had to cut short, remove a lot. For me, everything was important, but then I had to put myself into the shoes of someone who's reading it, and there it comes that I have to be very brief, but I don't want to miss on all those things. So I think we learn the skill of being very precise and yet not miss out on those things which we find important. And even our leadership bio that Amrita had asked us, mine ran into pages, one full page, but she ultimately spoke only about one paragraph, which is fine. So I think we learn that there is, like she said, too much of anything is going to be in excess, is not good. More than anything, when you apply, and this comes from my experience because I've been training students to migrate to Canada and do higher educations in France, etc. It's your CV fine, your additional qualifications fine, all of that carry, but it's your covering letter which will catch my attention. Because I really do not have the time to go through 200, 500 applications. If your cover letter it attracts my attention, where you've mentioned very clearly what have you done, what skills do you possess, what will you bring to my organization. If that catches my eye, then I will probably look to the next page and CV and then call you for interview. If that fails, then I'm going to put it in the dustbin. So I think it's the skill of writing very nicely the cover letter and your CV very precise. Both things are just as important when you apply. That I do with my students who wish to apply.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the questions, and I hope all the people got some clarity. And
So I should keep that.
Okay, so sorry for taking this time. One last question from my end. Akhilesh, you have said that once you go through their resume and ask them one question, you will get to know the candidate. So I want to ask all 5 of you, just a single word answer, not to waste any time. Is being confident is more needed, or being correct is more needed in an interview? What is more needed in an interview? Being confident or being correct?
If I am an interviewer, then I would see if you are honest. If you are honest with your answers or not. Whether you are confident or not. I mean, there are scenarios where we might fumble while we are answering, but if you are honest with your answers, then yeah, that should be good.
See, I'll say the same thing, Jagadi. I will be able to see whether you are really authentic. Because if you've been into Toastmasters, then those values of being high on integrity and excellence that you portray in your life, in your work, I will be able to see it through. So I think if someone comes across to me and I will be able to see whether they are really genuine and authentic, then you have my vote. For me, it will come very easy.
Okay, the others?
So this will seem like we are reading out things from a thesaurus, because the word I am going to say, you said one word answer, is I would also look for credibility. It sort of goes in line with what they said. So credibility is what would matter, and I think confidence will help. But if you don't own what you're saying, then I will not buy what you're selling.
One last thing to add. See, if your confidence and your answer is not right, how does it matter? I have interviewed a candidate who was deliberately looking at Google to answer, to give his answers. I mean, you can make it out right. So what I literally look for any candidate is how trustworthy he is if he comes into my organization. That's what I really look for.
Along with what all these people said, honesty is of course needed. I also have taken a couple of interviews when I was in Deccan. I was into a project where I had to work as a tableau lead. So I had taken a couple of interviews, and what I observe is, along with honesty, if you don't know something, it's okay to say that you're not, oh, you don't know that concept. But how willing are you to learn it in further? Like how willing are you to learn that concept when you are in the job? That also I would look for, that willingness to learn along with honesty.
So at the end, the willingness, the credibility and honesty is important in an interview, even if we know or do not know the answer. Is that correct?
Absolutely, and more than anything, you remember when I began, I think the first question that Amrita asked me was, and my statement was, we have to know how we say it. So I know that I don't know things, and I should admit that I don't know, and like Saichandra said that we should be willing to learn, but how do I say this? I have to phrase it correctly, so that it shows that I admit I don't know, but I'm willing to learn, correct? So the words that we choose, and that is precisely what Toastmasters teaches us. Once you're a Toastmaster, you're able to phrase your words clearly in as short a phrase as possible. So that's very, very important, I feel.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. You have answered my question.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chakrik, for such a wonderful question. So with this, I understood that confidence, credibility, willingness to learn, these all are mandatory for a person to be survive in their interest of their career. And especially for me, so if you are going to attend an interview, take a Toastmaster along with you, shift the topic to the Toastmasters and get placed. So thank you so much for everyone for sharing your valuable insights that help each and every individual to take part in their own interest. So thank you so much and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.